Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob ENT podcast, the best sports podcast in New Jersey. We got a special one for y'all today, starting a new series where we're going to be talking to people from NBA threads. And if y'all in the comments, y'all want to hop on, you can hop on too. We're going to talk about each team in the NBA, some of your favorite players, do a little trivia based off of that certain team. And we're going to talk about, obviously, have a little 1v1 draft, some of the unsung heroes of these teams, depending on the team, because, we talking Lakers today. Obviously, we could debate all day about who the greatest is, but we're going to do something different, talk about the unsung heroes, NBA season so far, and we're going to definitely touch on the All-Star game, the new format, what Chris thinks about it, and how we would fix it. But Chris Lindsey, CL Smooth X, on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, Chris Lindsey Sports on Instagram. Welcome back. How are you doing?
What's good, bro? Doing good, man. Glad to be on. You know what I mean? Ready to get it started, bro. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And for those that do not know, y'all have seen some of the reels before. He's back. Y'all had your opinions on him. He's going to give some of the great takes again. Starting off with this, before we do that, subscribe, share, like, tell everybody. You can tell your grandmother, your uncle, your baby moms, your cousin. Even if y'all don't talk, shoot. Send it to the dude in jail that got the cell phone he not supposed to have. Send him this. He gonna have a good time watching this. Starting off the new All-Star game format that funny enough, I looked it up on YouTube to see if Adam Silver actually spoke on it because I was going to use that clip to see if he explained it better than I can. There's a video on YouTube going 8 years ago saying, how can we fix the All-Star game? So it's literally been an issue for years and years. What they are attempting to do this year now, 14 tournament, 2 semifinal games, played up to 40. Winners advance to the finals matchup, which will be up to 25 points. Winner takes all from there. Just starting off on what they are trying to implement. What's your thoughts on the new attempt of a format for the All-Star game?
I mean, I don't know, man. Just starting out, like, just even how it sounds, it's just like, I don't know if I'm feeling it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's how it was about the other stuff too. Like when it first rolled out, it's going to be more of a thing that I'll have to see before I could make like a final determination. But just like reading it and seeing how it goes, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm a little iffy. But I mean, the main thing is just trying to get guys to compete. You know, that's the main portion of it. But I don't know if this necessarily is going to fix it because you really can't like simulate and make guys play harder no matter what it is. All these dudes make too much money anyway. So, you know, it's only certain guys. And it's like you're the weird guy if you're the one out there playing too hard. Like, you know, everybody be like, bro, what you on? Like, hold on, just chill out. Like, you know what I mean? But it's I don't know. I'm like in the middle with it for real.
Yeah, I gotta see it first to see if it actually works. They cooked up something good when they decided to do the in-season tournament. So maybe they got something with this one too. But when I first read it, I'm like, oh, okay. We'll see what comes of it. I still don't think they could do whatever they want, honestly. I think it needs to come from the players, whatever their idea is, because they're the ones that's gonna have to play it. So their opinion, I think, is gonna be needed. We'll see how it goes this year. If you are commissioner, if you got Adam Silver's ear, you got the number, you could text him, you could call him, he consulting you for advice. What would you do to fix the All-Star game?
Just get rid of it. No more. Just get the accolade, skip through it. I mean, again, like kind of alluding to my last point, guys is making too much money. It's too much fanfare that's around the All-Star game. What guys doing events, it's a big, melting pot for everybody to get stuff done. So you can't expect guys to have that competitive fire when they're asked of in so many different directions. But maybe it being in a different location, like out here on the West Coast, might help out weather-wise, and guys can do more business and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just the Elam system was cool for the first, year or a couple of years when they started it in 2020. They added it, and then they tried to do the draft, like pickup game, and so it's like they're trying everything they can. But like you said, I would just leave it up to the players, get the players union to come together, like what or players association, like what is it that you guys want? Like, you know what I mean? Really listen to them. Obviously, keeping the viewers in mind. But it is, yeah, I don't even know what I would tell Adam Silver. I was like, bro, let's just wrap this up. Like, no more dunk contest for right now. Let's give it a break, like they did in '98 and '99. No dunk contest. Let's just chill out for a little bit and come up with something else. But I don't know. It's too much money in there.
Too much money involved on that. Good point with the 98, 98, 99 season. I think if we don't see this year the big names step in, John Morant, Zion Williamson, even though we don't, if Zion don't play no games, I don't think we want to see him in a dunk contest. That would
No, that's
annoy.
tricky. Yeah, that's tricky. That's crazy. Yeah, no, we don't need that.
That would be crazy. But I think, to throw it out there, something that I would suggest. We've seen it with the big three, and we've seen it with T Max OBL League. Have a 3-on-3 tournament for the weekend, 1-on-1 tournament, obviously with money involved. Yes, they make a bunch of money, but money always, a little extra 200K is always a good thing for any of these players, some bragging rights. Do a 3-on-3 tournament, 1-on-1 tournament, and probably mix in some of the G League players just to get that exposure for them, just so then that they possibly, hey, a team sees them do a 3-on-3 tournament and they beat KD, Steph, and Bron. Hey, we might want to give them a call up. So something that includes and mixes in the G League. Same with the All-Star game. We saw some with the dunk contest. We've seen some G League players going bananas on the dunk contest.
Right.
Maybe you even mix in some of you talking about money, some of the top creators. Mix them in, the ones that be doing the 1-on-1 tournaments and the ones that be going around everywhere and Uncle Scoob and all of them.
Oh yeah,
Mix
yeah, yeah, for sure.
mix them in some way, somehow, because then you're bringing their followers. People are going to tune in. Because it is, like you said, it's kind of getting mundane. It's the same old routine. They're not going to play hard. Dunk contest not going to be good. The best part, honestly, the last probably 5 years has been, and probably going back further, what I'm being nice, is the 3-point contest.
Yeah, ever since the evolution of the 3-point ball, like that's changed so much, like because that adds a lot more anticipation because that's really like the one-on-one thing. Like you can't fake that. Like you can't shoot it a certain way. Like how are you gonna do it like a dunk? Like what more dunk can you show us? And guys don't want to get hurt. And then you added social media and guys having brands, they want to protect that. So they don't want to get clowned and made fun of, or get messed up or something like that. You know what I mean? Because we see guys like who was it? Was it Jericho Sims? I think last year, like
Yeah.
or a couple of years ago, and everybody kind of clowned him, and he had to post a picture of him on vacation. Like, no, I'm unbothered. Like, it don't matter. Like, and guys just don't want to be embarrassed. Which I think, like, if there was like a ones or something like that, it would have to be like the lower tier guys who really want to hoop like that. Like, because you're not gonna get the big name guys out there to play like King of the Court or something like that. Because again, no one wants to look like that they can't do something, which inevitably kind of stinks. That's what you want. Or if you have it to where, you know, some of the leading vote getters coach like a different team, like, you know what I mean? Like, but they're fully the coach, like of the creators or the G League guys, and they're kind of going at it in like the 3-on-3 tournament, like, or something like that. Like if you get Bron, coaching and then Jason Tatum on the other side, and they're getting their guys together, but outside of their other obligations, it's going to be impossible for them to like take time from that to do that. So it's just, man, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick what they could do.
I don't envy Adam Silver. Uh, God bless you with that
No.
job and figuring it out. Like you said, I think ultimately they need to get the NBA Players Union involved.
Straight
Get
up.
word directly from the NBA players. You don't want to just be implementing something and they not going to be invested because they ain't want to do it anyway. So somehow, some way, you got to include the NBA players for this. So far, what are we now? 2 months into the season, we've seen the Cavs start off 15-0. We've seen the Celtics look pretty solid again. We've seen Dalton Connect looking like the top rookie outside of Jared McCain. And hey, if Jared McCain could paint your nails and do all the dancing you want, if you balling like that, dance your heart away. They don't love you. Like do whatever you gotta do, Jared. I'm rocking with it all the way. What has been some of your favorite storylines, your biggest takeaways so far of this season?
I mean, outside of the two rookies like Jared and Dalton, You know what I mean? I've really been liking what I've been seeing from them. I have wrote down here the Rockets. You know what I mean? I know we had mentioned like before the season with Jalen Green and those guys and what people is, saying and stuff like that. So I like what I've been seeing from them, even from the Spurs. I know I kind of alluded to them maybe potentially being like a play-in team if they're able to kind of just keep racking up wins. And as you see, they're kind of plugging away and kind of getting that and playing it really hard. Uh, but yeah, like there's the Cavs. That was good to see. I mean, you don't win 15 games in a row on accident. You know what I mean? Like they got it rolling over there because they're healthy. And even when they didn't have guys in the lineup, they were still able to win games, which was really good. They've won in blowouts, they've won close games, they've had come from behind wins. And that's literally what you need in order to keep building in the season. I know Darius Garland has said that, he wants to be healthy this year the best he can. And if you see, like he is an all-star caliber guard in the league when he's playing at a high level and he's healthy, with his shiftiness, his IQ, and I know a lot of people aren't a fan of like small backcourts, but I mean they're one of the ones who are making it happen so far. So those are the couple storylines that I really like. Like I said, the Rockets, Cavs, Spurs, teams like that, even the Pistons, how hard they've been playing. You know what I mean? They've been turning the corner. Yeah, the coach got them winning games. They've already eclipsed a lot of their win threshold that they had from last year around this time. So that's been really good to see, man. And Cade, he's playing on both ends of the court. You see, he's getting the defensive stop he needs to. He's hitting the shots. Jaden Ivey, I know we talked about him from before. Jalen Duren, a lot of guys like that. And they have the good mix of like veterans and young guys, like the
Yeah.
perfect mesh, having like Tim Hardaway and having Tobias and guys like that. It's been nice, man. So it's been a solid season so far outside of the injuries or whatever, but everything else has been cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of injuries. But to your point, I was checking out the standings. Spurs is one game out. They ran that mix to be in the play-in, which realistically, yes, it's great that they have Chris Paul, but we said it's still a lot of holes on the team. Chris Paul, maybe if this was Chris Paul OKC, all right, they a top 16. But it's Chris Paul on the back end. You still got obviously Victor Wembanyama. You talk about veteran leadership. Having Harrison Barnes there also has been huge. He's not getting 30, 40 points a night. But don't think it's not helping out with Champagne, with Vassell, the rest of the crew is definitely helping out with that. The Rockets, I like you mentioning them. Ime got them playing. It's a lot of mouths to feed on that roster. Somehow he's making it work. I wonder, do you think with the Rockets, should they like look to try to trade somebody to maybe let me take these 2-3 young pieces and get a piece that's more ready to win right now?
No, I actually think they should just roll with what they have because, again, kind of similar with the Pistons. Obviously, they're a few, like a season or two behind the Rockets, but they've already got it. And if you see the formula for winning in the league now, it's like having those guys off that rookie contract mixed in with a couple second and third year contract guys that all kind of blend together. Fred VanVleet, he's a champ. He's been in the trenches before. He's won at a high level, and he knows how to like be a leader for those guys. Dylan Brooks has made deep playoff runs. And you mix that in with Shingun, Jalen, and Tari, and like all the other guys that they have on there, it like works out perfectly. It's like that perfect mesh. And you want to build from your draft if you're able to and kind of just like work it that way. So that's why, I think they should just kind of stay with it. Cause then you got to redo your chemistry all over again if you get a new piece, and then you got to get rid of your depth to acquire that. You know what I mean? And it's not like they're at a point where they're at the point of contention where they need to make that next leap, like there's pressure for them, like them making the playoffs and actually winning a couple games is going to be a success for them if they can avoid like the play-in from where they've been at the last couple of years. So as long as they're healthy, they could, at least hopefully miss, not playing the play-in, and be a higher seed. Other than that, like 6-ish or something like that. So you never know, but yeah, I think they should stay with what they got and keep building.
I think it'll be interesting to see, especially with a coach like Ime, who he's not coming just to be like, all right, we're rebuilding. Like he still wants to win now, especially coming from the Celtics, which I know that gotta hurt that man in his heart. But next year they win the chip. And I think they would have won a chip with him. You go to Houston.
For
You got a
sure.
great young nucleus, but you miss out on the championship. Nia Long. It's been a tough couple. It's been a tough couple of years for Ime. But you mentioned the chemistry aspect. I think about in that regard the 76ers. Now we talked and I picked on this here show and the big NBA Threads episode with Griff, the 76ers to win. God damn. I don't know if that's going to happen. To have the worst record in the league. I didn't foresee this coming. So this is one of my biggest storylines. I thought you got the Andre Drummond, you got a nice couple pieces, Kelly Oubre Jr., Kyle Lowry still there. Everything looked good on paper. But it's nothing coming of it. So that's one of my biggest storylines for me, especially being that I picked them and it's hurting my heart. So now I'm trying to figure out who am I picking now because I'm of the mindset of Wallow from Gillian Wallow. I pick winners. I'm not rock. I don't have to stay committed to the 76ers. That's not my wife.
Nah.
I could leave them, so I'm not rocking with it. I gotta figure out who I think is going to actually win it this year because Philly is done up. You mentioned the Pistons on the other side. I like what I've seen from Charlotte so far. I love actually watching the Charlotte Hornets. If they're on,
Yeah, that's crazy to say that in a sentence, man. I know.
If they're on, I'm turning on LaMelo Ball, who just dropped the 50 piece. They have something very special. When you talk about backcourt, you talk about Cade and Jaden Ivey. You talk about LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Bro, for years to come, they're gonna have. If they could get him to stay, which I hope they could get LaMelo to stay, because I'm already reading articles where they talk about the Clippers. Their main goal is to get LaMelo over back in LA, which that would be a nice little homecoming story. But I hope he stays in Charlotte. If he stays with the Hornets, I think at this rate, if he keep balling like this and keep getting better, you're talking about probably one of the best Charlotte Hornets ever in their history. And Brandon Miller would probably be in that same conversation of like top 5, top 3 ever with how they playing. I love what I've seen from Charlotte, and I think his name is Charles Lee. I know it's something Lee. I love how the coach
Yeah,
got the
Charles Lee. Yeah, that's him.
Charles
Yeah,
Lee.
from Boston.
Yes, sir. And I love how he giving it accountable though. A lot of people was upset. I saw in Gil's Arena, it was, oh, why did they bench LaMelo? Charles Lee said, my man, LaMelo, I need you to play defense too. I need you to play defense too. And I'm not kidding. I know you're the best player. I'm not gonna let it pass. You're not gonna just be able to, do whatever you want. I need you to play defense also. Which I think that accountability has not been there so far in Charlotte. Outside of even LaMelo. Charles Lee is holding them accountable and obviously brought that winning culture to Charlotte. I love it. And then my last storyline that I take away from this is Golden State. Golden State Warriors, the 4th best defensive rating. Draymond is top tier defense again this year. He's on his still pulling people's legs and all that type of nonsense, which we talked about before, but I guess it doesn't matter because, nobody thought I would be here from Saginaw, Michigan. He's still on his nonsense. Steph looks elite. I didn't expect this. I thought they would be good because obviously you have Steph, you have Draymond. But the Golden State Warriors being this good, even the 4 games Steph was out, it's like they didn't miss a beat. Buddy Hield, rejuvenated. It's like I just needed to get to Golden State. That's what it looks like. I just needed to play with Steph, and my life has been changed. Like he just got converted to a different religion. Like he's playing.
He ain't never been that open in his career. You know what I mean? Like finally to be that open, and then even when they have the right pieces that fit perfectly. Obviously, you can't replace what Clay does, but you have to realize which version of Clay they were getting rid of or that was leaving. And then just having that question around their season the last couple of years and everything like that sometimes can put like a little bit of a dark cloud on you a little bit. But now that they've been able to kind of move on from that and kind of look forward, I mean, just their play style, it just works for what they have. Like, you know what I mean? I hate that DeAnthony Melton is hurt. You know what I mean? I know that sucks. But yeah, just seeing from like Tracy Jackson Davis, you know, Kyle Anderson, all those guys, man, like they've been performing at a high level. And that's usually like with the Warriors, you plug and play. Like whoever needs to take on the role. I mean, Andrew Wiggins has been playing pretty solid. Like, you know what I mean? I know he was kind of in and out of the lineup the last couple of years, especially after they won the championship. But them having that defense, it opens up everything for them. You know what I mean? And that makes them, and then also Jerry Stackhouse, because he's like a defensive, you know, guru. You know what I mean? So for them to plug him in and get them going like that, it's been great. You know, it's a beautiful brand of basketball to watch. One of the best teams in the league. You know, they're scary. You know what I mean? And nothing is scary than seeing Steph shooting from, you know, 40 feet and hitting the, you know what I mean? Like there still may not be a better show in the league when he gets hot. Like, you know what I mean? Because everyone just knows it's about to happen.
Bruh. Still, at this point in his career, box office, absolute box office. With this hot start, do you think it's something that they could sustain, especially being that they just lost Melton for the season? What's the ceiling for the Warriors? Are we thinking that they could possibly compete for a championship this year?
I mean, I don't see why not. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure back in when they won in 22, it was kind of a similar start. They really just came out of nowhere in a way, because you know they had a down year when they what was it? I think they missed a play-in that, or they were in the play-in and they lost to Memphis. I think
Mhm.
the year before in 2021. And then, you know, Steph was ready, and, you know, they go as far as him, and he beat all the he's not a leader allegations, and he's not clutch. And you saw how he made everybody love him this summer even more. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. They're going to be a top seed, especially with that defense mixed with that offense. It's still hard to guard. Like, you know what I mean? So their thing is going to be health. And with the West not having that clear cut like team outside of like, you know, Denver, OKC, it's really just between those three right there.
Hey, you mentioned Kyle Anderson too. I know it's a team that's missing him. Minnesota, part of that defensive scheme that they had that was lockup. You're missing Kyle Anderson. He's doing his thing over in Golden State. That's a piece that they're missing for sure. This is now what everybody's been asking for. Everybody's been looking for. This is what the episode is mainly about. Couldn't have Chris on and not talk about NBA right now, though, and what's going on in the season right here, especially with the basketball knowledge, which we will test that knowledge today on this episode. But if you give me your favorite Lakers all time, you don't have to do, like I said at the beginning of the show, we're not trying to, it's so much rich history with the Lakers. We're not talking about respectfully the Hornets, where you could easily be like, all right, these are the greatest five ever. Your favorite 5 Lakers of all time.
And my favorite 5 Lakers. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, you know, and I go based off of who I watched fully. Like, you know what I mean? Like in my age range and stuff like that. Obviously Kobe is gonna be number one. Like, you know, it's gonna be Kobe. You know, I got him on my water bottle and everything. I know it's backwards, but I know you can see that right there. You know, got Kobe, Shaq. Obviously, those names are just synonymous. Pal is gonna be my third, and then Bron and AD. You know, I think they've all attributed to the winning culture that they have for the Lakers. They've won at a high level. They've had the storylines. Those are some of the greatest players in basketball history that played for the franchise, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go with them. Kobe, Shaq, Pal, Bron, and AD.
I'm gonna go with Kobe, Shaq. We got the same names with there, but I'm gonna go a little different route. Obviously, I'll add on my list Magic. The other two that I really, really, really are my favorite all time. Shannon Brown, he didn't play a lot for the Lakers, but when he played for the Lakers, some of the most exciting basketball highlights ever. I would have expected more from his career with how athletic he was. And if once he got going, he could get a bucket. He could get a bucket. He
Yeah, he could
played
shoot. He
defense.
could shoot. He could
He
shoot.
could shoot. He could play defense. And he has some of the greatest what if dunks. Like
Yeah.
some of the great.
He's like the
Oh, it
best
almost
best miss dunk misser, best miss dunk player in NBA history. Him and Ja are like right there. Like
he's
their
in that
misses are like tens.
he's in that conversation. To see those games, and I know you know the dunks I'm referencing, to see
Mm-hmm.
Kobe get that excited, which we didn't
Yep.
always see. Kobe on the bench, like
Nah.
to see
Yeah,
that,
yeah, for sure. That
I
was
was doing
crazy.
the
I
same
remember
in my
that.
house. I was doing the
Yep.
same in my house, like, oh shoot, and
The
it didn't
blocks,
go
all
in.
that. You know what I mean? Man, yeah, no, that's a good that's a good deep cut right there. I like that.
And my fifth one of my favorite Lakers, one of my favorite role players of all time, none other than LL Lamar Odom.
The goods.
Huge, huge piece and
Yeah.
help in those rings in that area of the 2010, 2011. That era, him, Pau Gasol, those two, deadly. And he's a little bit ahead of his time. LO could go run that's your point forward right there.
Yeah.
Point forward. The triangle offense didn't give him much liberty to do that as often, but if he played now,
Right. Oh yeah, he would be free. Oh yeah, he would. Man, I don't even know who he would be like. Like when I think about it, but yeah, he was so nice. It was just so easy for him. And one thing they used to knock him on is that he was almost never fully aggressive. A lot of times he would like pass a lot. And then, he was supposed to be the Scotty to Kobe when he first got there. Him, Karan, and Chucky Atkins and all them with Kobe. They was supposed to run it up with those two. You know what I mean? With Kobe and Lamar. And then, that following year, you kind of start to see it change a little bit once Phil came in and he kind of used him in a different role and kind of made him be like that main facilitator in the triangle. And then the fact that he could push to break made it even better. Like, so it made them very hard to guard, especially like in half court situations, because then he could pass at a high level and he could still shoot even a mid range, or he could slash, get a dunk. And he was left-handed. Guarding lefties is always a bit more difficult. But yeah, he was the heart and soul for those Laker teams throughout that tenure while he was there.
oh yeah, I love left-handed players. Got a special place in my heart. I'm not left-handed, but it's just when they play correctly, it's just so beautiful. It's
Yeah, it's
really
nice.
beautiful.
It's nice.
It's beautiful to watch, man. All right, we're gonna do a 1v1 draft. You just mentioned a deep cut, Chucky Atkins. That's a deep cut. People
Shout out to
don't know
Chucky
about
Atkins, man.
you don't know about Chucky Atkins. So you can start off. You get one pick, I get one pick. 1v1 draft of unsung heroes for the Los Angeles Lakers. You can start
Let
off.
me
Who's your number
see.
one overall pick?
Unsung heroes. I'm gonna keep it like in the same kind of general era. Excuse me. I like Derek Fisher, man. I think D Fish. It's like it was always Kobe, Shaq, D Fish. Like once Fisher came back that second time, that was like the person Kobe trusted the absolute most. And if you look at a lot of some of the game winners during that time, or just go ahead buckets, a lot of them were given by Derek Fisher. When Kobe would pass the ball to someone, it was to him. Because he was always in the right spot at the right time. So I'm gonna go D Fish.
Dang, that's a tough one to already be off the board. Dang. D Fish, I'm gonna go with might as well I just mention him. My number one overall pick gonna be Lamar Odom then. Lamar Odom. We already talked about him. I don't need to go, sing his praises any further. We talked about him. Your next pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with man, you took LO. That was my next one. I'm gonna go Robert Ory.
Dang.
Gotta go big shot.
Big shot Bob. And the man did it for multiple organizations.
Yeah. I mean, you want no fluke. 7 rings, man. You don't get those by accident.
No fluke, multiple organizations. I'm gonna go with a classic one over here. Let's bring out Glenn Rice.
I
Glenn
like
Rice,
that.
He helped in that. What was that? The 2000,
Just 2000.
2001 season. Helped get that first championship since, what was it, 1988? Since they won a
Yeah, since
championship.
88. Yeah, they had got it in 2000 because he had got there in 99 or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, so
Glenn Rice.
to be able to
Yes,
help
sir.
bring that first championship back after such a long time, he was averaging something like 14 that season.
He was balling.
Um,
He was killing it for the Lakers. And then almost like funny story. I think if I'm not mistaken, in 99 during that lockout era when Scotty had went to the Rockets, he was supposed to go to the, or no, yeah, after he left the Rockets in 99, the Lakers had wanted Scotty to join in 2000. But he was in Portland, so he went to Portland because they were going to give him more money, but he would have been there. And I think he's kind of supposed to kind of replace Glenn Rice or something like that, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I read and heard at the time, which would have been crazy.
that'd have been crazy because Scotty on Portland was actually still he
He was still going, man.
he was still solid, bro. And he would have had even a less of a more his plate if he came to the
Yeah.
Lakers. Portland, he was
Yeah,
still
for
kind of
sure.
like a bigger, a way bigger
Yeah.
piece. Like,
Facts.
you got the next pick.
I'm gonna go with the Westchester High School legend Trevor Ariza.
Dang, that's a great one. That's a
Mm-hmm.
great one right there.
Yes,
You're
sir.
talking about a small forward. I'll go with the person that the year before he faked the pass at him. Give me Matt Barnes on my
Oh
squad.
yeah. Nah, you can't go. Another UCLA legend, bro. Got a lot of Bruins out here. Dang, that's a good one. All right. Let's see. Rick Fox.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with Ricky.
pretty Ricky.
Yeah,
Rick
you gotta
Fox.
go with Pretty Ricky, man.
Oh man, I think I gotta get some guards on this squad. I got 2 spots
Mhm.
left. I gotta get a guard. Oh, of course. We miss him over here in LA. He had a nice run. It would have been if we kept him, we would have had the trio of white players. Alex Caruso, the
Oh yeah,
Caruso man.
yeah. That's actually a really, really good one. I like that. Yeah, he was perfect for the Lakers. Perfect, man.
Now he in
Let's
OKC.
see. Now he in OKC running it up, doing what he does best, man. Headband, all that. Yeah. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna keep it in that kind of era with the mid 2000s. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Jordan Farmar. Jordan
Mm,
Robert Farmar, Taft High, UCLA, Lakers, all that. Perfect LA kid dream right there. So I'm gonna roll with
that
that.
was storybook. You could have written that up as a movie, honestly. Like
Yep.
my last pick, keeping in that era, I believe. I think I'm right on this one. He played with him. I'm gonna add to the mix. Add a little shooting to this squad. I'm gonna add the machine, Sasha.
Oh yeah, he was there. Yeah,
Vujacic.
Sasha, he was there. All
Sasha,
right,
the
that's a good one.
machine, Vujacic. That rounds
Clinched
out.
that ring, man, in 2010 with them free throws. Slicked the hair back and all that. Came in.
Oh man, we got to end off
Yeah.
the show. You mentioned a part of your
Mhm.
favorite Lakers group, Lakers players was LeBron, AD. With LeBron and AD, I've seen a lot of conversations on it. You being out there in California, knowing your history, knowing the Lakers' history, and the importance of winning championships. Do you think the LeBron AD era has been a success?
That was kind of tricky. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, the expectation is always going to be to win more. But I mean, they got one, which was key in their first year together, obviously in one of the hardest years to win. And I think after that, like they had the formula to win, and then they just kind of got greedy and start messing with stuff. And then the media got involved and it became very LeBron centric, you know, how he'll kind of shake things up a little bit. But in all honesty, like if I'm being like sensible, I would say yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and they've had teams that could have won more, but they just didn't. Like the year after the bubble, they were definitely going to win again before the injuries. And then kind of when they changed it up with Russ and all the other stuff, that was maybe like their other two kind of bad years. And then 20 and was it 2023 when they went to the conference finals that was unsuspected, unexpected. So I would say with how the league is now, there's not many repeat champions or teams that can keep it together for that long. And the fact that out of the groups that you remember that July free agency class with LeBron, AD and then Kawhi and PG and Kyrie and Kevin, they're the only ones that have won out of that new shift. You know what I mean? So that's got to account for something. And yeah, so I would say it's been pretty successful showing how the league has transformed to what it is now. I would say, yeah, they got them one. And that was the most important. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain has won as a Laker. So, but people don't want to remember that or call that out. But hey, call it like it is.
I think when you look at the grand, like to your point, the grand scheme of things, and you look at the macro of where the league is at right now, I would say it's a success because they actually got one with the Lakers. And some would say, oh, it's an asterisk narrative and all that. I think it's still one of the hardest championships to ever achieve was that bubble championship. They could have mailed it in like the Clippers did. They could, you know what? I'm trying to get back to my family. I'm trying to get back to the club. Whatever time you was on, there was a lot of people that, talked about the mental health being in there. They was able to lock in, not be able to see their family, not be able to do something, lock in and go get that championship. And they've had injuries. And they've had things out of their control. That championship team should have stayed together. They should have kept Dwight. They should have kept JaVale. We had a formula. We had something going. Nikola Jokic did not own the Lakers then.
Nah, he didn't.
He didn't own the Lakers then.
Nah, he didn't. Not at all.
We had him look. We had somewhat of an answer. Let's throw different body at him. Now we're fully relying on AD. Save us. Somehow
and
stop
for him to pick up the offensive load on top of that. So that just makes it 10 times. It made it 10 times harder. And honestly, too, like thinking back, I was like looking back at some of their season that year. I feel like a lot of it, what they did was they panicked when they seen Brooklyn and then just how KD and them were in that 2021 playoffs. So it almost made you think like, oh man, if James Harden's healthy, Kyrie's healthy, Kevin is healthy, they're going to be unstoppable. And then that's when the Lakers were like, oh, let's go get Russ. So now we have a big three. Where with LeBron and KD, that's how they won 5, 6 years, 7 years prior to that. And since they were still top dogs, even in the league and in the organization, they may have felt like it could have worked. Like, oh yeah, but then as you see, when you're building out your roster, that's what you actually need. And then if you look at the last couple NBA champions, it's literally been guys who were drafted by the team who all actually end up kind of winning the finals MVP, right? Giannis, Steph, Joker, Jaylen Brown, like that. It's not like a big free agent. It's always been like a small move, or Bruce Brown, or Andrew Wiggins, or it wasn't like. So the Lakers were like the last team of like the big free agent splash era to win that dominated the league since 2010, right? They were like, it would lasted for like 10 years. So they were like the last team in 2019-20 to win that old way. But now the new way is, hey, if you've been drafted here, you're on that second contract, we got other guys. That's the new way to win. So honestly, I think they kind of got greedy, got Trez, got Marc Gasol, and they fell for the Taylor Horland Tucker stuff, and which was a little bit kind of crazy at the time. Like I got the hype at the time, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, you got rid of Caruso for him. Kuzma was still there. KCP was still there. Like they had literally everyone, and it worked out perfectly. But I just feel like they ultimately kind of saw what Brooklyn had going on, and rightfully so. You kind of want to make that change. But I mean, yeah, that's why a lot of LeBron teams don't win more than one championship, because stuff start moving, you know what I mean? A little bit. If you go back and think about it, stuff start changing too much, you know what I mean? And then it's like, if you could keep it, but then guys get paid more. Like, you know what I mean? Like one thing LeBron gonna do, he gonna make you look good. So other teams is gonna be like, oh man, like you nice like that. And then once you leave the system, then it's like, wait, hold on, dog. We gave you $55 million for a year. And then it's like, yeah, because Bron he was over there on the wing and I was wide open. So, I was shooting 89% from three. Like, now I'm shooting 14% because now I got to create and I'm on a bad team. So he covers a multitude for everybody. But hey, man, get your money.
Hey, Bron gets people paid. He gets people paid. Whether you stay with the squad or go elsewhere, he gets people
You're gonna
paid.
get some chili. Yeah, you're gonna get some chili for sure. They need to have a stat with that. Like how many people LeBron helped get them contracts, man, just from playing with them. It goes a long way, bro.
The year before said player played with Bron, the following year, if it's a contract season, what they got paid, and it's probably an astronomical record. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people get flack to Bron because it's like they like, oh, Bron be killing coaches and Bron be messing up rookies. He can't play with rookies, this, that, and the third. Obviously, there's some validity to it because at the back tail end of his career, I mean, even when he started being him, I'm trying to
Mhm.
win championships. I need a
Yeah.
roster who has the same mindset and is going to help me do that. So if you was a rookie and you wasn't ready to do that,
Pack them up. Sit up,
and I would
sit,
rather
sit,
as a rookie,
sit over there.
I would rather that anyway because I get to actually grow and find out my footing in the league
True.
versus you a rookie. Shoot, some star players. Once Bron get there, what role do you need to play to get on the court to be next to Bron and help Bron out win? You
That's what
get
I'm saying,
pigeonholed.
man. Yep.
You could get
Facts,
pigeonholed. So
facts. Man, I
you
mean, look at
win.
Daniel Gibson. Mo Williams became an all-star. You know what I mean? What's brother's name? K Felder. You know what I mean? Like just the most
Yo,
random people. Ira
Chip
Newble, all them. Like
Elder.
just random people that was just getting paid and was out there getting to it with Braun. You know what I mean? And I think once his career is finally over, people will go back and see like, everything that he's done. But, I just think I mean they have a solid team. I think they're at the same spot win total wise last year that they were this year, 10-7. But you see the energy is different between like how it was with Darvin and how it is with JJ. Same record, you're in the same spot, but the energy is different. So that's just how it goes sometimes.
Way different, and they look even in the
That
loss.
too.
It just you could tell like it looks better.
Yeah,
They
it
seem
does.
like they're having fun. They like each other. We have more. It's more highs than lows in that 10-7.
Yeah,
At 10 and
it's
7
true.
last year, it was some games like, oh, that
Yeah, they was
okay,
looking crazy.
okay, LeBron to the rescue, AD to the
Yeah,
rescue.
yeah, you don't have to do that. And since they're giving the ball to AD more right off the jump, let him play in his pattern, work himself into a lather, get ready. Then it opens up his game on defense, and defensively, the other team's got to honor that. So now he's playing like how he did in 2020. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just don't have an answer. They're still one of the best combos in the league, regardless. They're just hard to guard. It just works with those two.
Facts. We're gonna end off the show with this. I know I did not mention this to you, but it's testing your basketball knowledge. If I mentioned it, you might be able to go in the archives and check all the rosters. But TNT, they play a game, the show over there with Shaq and Kenny and Ernie Johnson. They play a game where once the offseason is done, they ask Chuck, like, who he play for? I'm gonna switch it up. Did he play for them? So I'm gonna give you a couple of names, and you gonna tell me if they played for the Lakers or not. And
All
we'll
right,
end
bet.
off the show with there. We're gonna start off with Landry Fields.
Landry Field. No, he didn't play for the Lakers. Shout out to
That,
Stanford
that was
or
correct.
Harvard. Stanford, Harvard. One of the schools. Yeah, I forget, but
Yeah, I think
nah, he didn't.
it was something. Ime Udoka,
No, he was on the Blazers, but no Lakers. No Lakers.
2003, 2004 season. He played
Oh
with
yeah, he
the
was
Lakers.
on there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh snap. Yeah, I don't think he really cracked the roster like
Nah,
that. I know that's when they got GP and G Malone and all that, or Carl Malone and all that. Not G Malone.
we know who you was talking about.
Yeah. Shout out to G Malone though.
Ish Smith. Now he played for 15 different teams.
Yeah, but I remember the Lakers were always trying to get him, and I don't think they ever got him unless it was like for a short stint. But as far as I know, I don't think they had Ish Smith.
Ish Smith, you got that one correct.
All right, bet.
Troy Murphy.
Troy Murphy, yeah, he was a Laker. Yeah, for sure.
2011,
Lefty.
2012.
Yeah, he was a lefty. Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Ryder.
Yeah, he was there. Shout out to JR. Yeah, he was there. 2001.
Garrett Temple.
Garrett Temple. No, he was not a Laker.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
no, he wasn't a Laker.
Aaron McKee.
Yeah, he was there. 05, 06. I remember that. Yeah, I was like his
Okay.
last year.
All right, we got two more before we end this one. Jason Capono.
Yeah, he was there. UCLA legend. Yes, sir. 2010, 2011.
A lot of good basketball knowledge you got over here, calling out the years and everything like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Last one. This is a throwback. Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie. No, I know he was in Portland. I don't know where he went after Portland. His knees was all messed up. I'm just gonna say no, bro. I'm just gonna say no. I don't recall ever seeing him as a Laker, even like in the 80s and 90s. I don't think so, bro. Unless I'm tripping, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say nah.
That was for the people that watch this. Some of my older crowd that be locked in. Sam Bowie finished his last two seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers, 93 to 95.
That's crazy. Well, when?
And yeah, he ended his
I'll
career.
be. I did not know that. Well, all right. Well, dang. Well,
Hey.
now I know. Now if I go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they ask, I got that one, or Jeopardy or something like that.
That made my day because it was one you did not know. So appreciate that one.
Man. It's like that was that old ESPN show, Stump the Schwab or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro used to know, or Swami, whatever bro name was, whatever he knew all this stuff. Dang, bro. Now I look crazy in these streets. It's all good though.
Yeah, I was gonna mention players like Ron Harper. I'm like, he gonna know that.
That's easy. Oh, that's easy.
Dennis
easy.
Rodman, he played the 14 games for them.
Number 73.
Yeah, I remember we mentioned him. He played with Bron, but he also was on the Lakers.
He was.
Funny enough, I had Chucky Atkins on the list. You mentioned him 40 minutes ago. So
come on, man. Shout to Chuck, man. He was there. Yeah, they had a lot of deep cuts, man. A lot of players who were Von Wafer, what's it, Devin Green. They had some random dude. Jim Jackson.
Marshawn Brooks for a little bit.
Marshawn Brooks. Oh, yeah. Marshawn was there. Chris Kaman was a Laker.
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez.
I remember the Chris Kaman era. He got a nice little 20 and 12.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Robert Sacre. You got K Butter, Kendall Marshall, Xavier Henry, Ryan Kelly.
Marshall. That's a throwback.
Ramon Sessions. Yeah, it's a grip of them, bro.
Andrew Gutlock.
Oh, yeah, Gutlock. Yeah, Gutlock. He was there. Yep. Javaris Crittenton. He was there.
Ronnie Turiaf.
It's a lot of them, bro. Oh, man, that's funny. That's a lot of players.
I should have been like, yo, you got 30 seconds. Name as many Lakers players you can in 30 seconds. Because
man, Shammond Williams. Okay, say him. You know what I mean? Doug Christie.
The knowledge.
Doug Christie was there. That's funny, bro. I could go on for days.
Oh, man. But y'all know the vibes here on the BME podcast. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Bench Mob, we out. Peace.
Peace.